Hit record and welcome you all. Thanks for coming today. I'm Missy Safner. I've been the one who sent out a lot of emails, at least to the nursing students, and you might have gotten something forwarded from me if you're on the Duluth campus, but I'm a nurse midwife and a clinical professor in the School of Nursing, and I direct the nurse midwifery program. And I'm really excited about the study abroad. In 2020, it got canceled, and so we were super bummed, but we were excited that it was approved to be run again in 2022. So it'll be our second time of planning, but hopefully inaugural trip with this program. So it is open to anybody on any of the U of M campuses, as well as non-U of M students. So if you have friends at other universities, like in San Diego, Genevieve, or they are welcome to apply to it as well. There is a non-university option. So I did make slides just so I don't get off track, because I do talk quite a bit sometimes. So I'm going to share my screen with the hopes that this will kind of help us go through it. And feel free to ask questions at any point. Okay, so this is just an overview. It's not meant to be a lecture at all. So you're here to learn about the Women's Health and Policy course. And let's see if it will let me. I hate sometimes. There we go. Okay. So Jen Schultz couldn't be here today because she is busy legislating. She is our representative from Duluth, District 7A in the Minnesota House of Representatives, and is a professor at the UMD Leibovitz School of Business and Econ. So is that, Megan, are you a LBSE student, or what is your background?
I am oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. I am a CEHSP. It's the School of Human Education and Human Service Professions. I'm pre-physical therapy.
Awesome. Oh, great. I have a sister who's a physical therapist, and that's me. And I already told you a little bit about myself. Let's see. My research is in Uganda, and so I do global health as kind of my research program of study. And I just love traveling in general. So this study abroad, Women's Health and Policy, is going to be 15 days of travel in 3 countries, which we're really excited about. The Netherlands, Germany, and the Czech Republic. Our tentative dates are June 13th through the 27th. So we would travel on the 12th to Amsterdam and leave from Prague on the 27th. These are all tentative. We're working with the company ISP to get everything kind of nailed down. And so I just broke down how long we would be in each place. And Amsterdam will be the longest just because you roll in and you can't just get going after a all night flight. So we'll have a little bit of a day to reacclimate to the new time zone. We are staying in hotels, not hostels. So it is a 2-door room. And for anyone who requests a single room, or if we have people who identify as different genders and want their own single rooms, because we have an odd number of people, there is an additional fee for that. So if it's something you're interested in, we can certainly accommodate the single room. We just need to know in advance. And the hotels have already been proposed. So you can see, these are, if you jot them down really quick, you can certainly look up these hotels and see if what that might look like. So we're excited about that. They're in good locations, plenty of walkable areas nearby. The trip includes a lot of cultural events and tours that are part of the package. So a canal cruise in Amsterdam, the Anne Frank House, which I think is spelled wrong there, actually. I think she has an E at the end of her name. Van Gogh Museum, a tour of Berlin, listening to refugee voices in Berlin, including a guide, a city tour of Prague. So really fun things. There's a World Heritage Site right outside of Prague, like a giant castle, and you'll have the opportunity to go there. And in terms of cultural events, we have structured plans, but the best part of being in a country is going out and enjoying the country. So it's, going out walking in groups, of course, never alone, with friends, going to see the nightlife, whether that's, like if there's like live bands or street fairs or bars or whatever your preferences are for nightlife. There's definitely, you'll have, when the day's over, you have the flexibility to go out and kind of see the sights. And as long as you're with a buddy of some sort, you can kind of go where you want and just be responsible to make sure you get home and are ready to go the next day for all of our course requirements. Breakfast is included daily in the fee you pay. We do have like a welcome dinner and a farewell dinner. And then in Berlin, we'll do a Syrian restaurant just because they have had a new influx in recent years of Syrian refugees in Germany. And so there's some really great food available that's not just bratwurst anymore. So it's pretty exciting. And I just put some pictures of some local staples from different places. Most lunches and dinners will be on your own. So when you look at the UMD study abroad, kind of the breakdown of costs and what's anticipated, the food fee is kind of what you make of it. So I don't spend a ton of money on food. Like I'm very happy with like a street cart sandwich for lunch and can run to a grocery store and get some fruit and be very happy, which is not very expensive. But if you're a high end person, which is totally fine, it might be a little bit more than they have budgeted. So it just really depends on what you do and don't like. So I thought I would show you kind of what we're plotting out. Ignore the dates on here, but this would be like a sample itinerary. So arrive, kind of have the day to get acclimated to Amsterdam. We'll have a welcome dinner. And then the next day we spend the morning looking at the Dutch healthcare system and go to the University of Amsterdam. And then do a guided tour of Amsterdam and the canal cruise in the afternoon. So you can see it's not like, overwhelmingly, 10 hours straight of coursework. It's kind of sprinkled throughout. And then we would spend a morning looking at cannabis regulation because, everyone thinks of Amsterdam as kind of this leader in cannabis. And so think about how they manage it, tour some facilities, and then also visit the Prostitution Information Center and be able to understand Amsterdam's policies on protecting women who are sex workers. And then we'd also look at reproductive health care by going to a healthcare center. And then also the Dutch are well known for their home births. And so think about home births by visiting a home birth center and talk to some midwives. And then finally, we'd spend a whole day doing the Van Gogh Museum and the Anne Frank House. And then on the last day in Amsterdam, we would actually take a flight to Berlin. So that's kind of a breakdown of, nothing's finalized, but that's kind of what we envision happening in the city. So you have a lot of structure in your day, but at the same time, you have some flexibility. And, the late afternoons and evenings are your time. Cost is probably one of the most important aspects of any trip. The final cost won't be posted until March 1st. And so I know it's hard to sign up for something. The UMD Study Abroad group is working really hard to get some initial fees set. And so there is some information that will be posted soon, if it's not already posted, about what they anticipate the cost will be. Our goal is always to lower that cost, whatever's posted. When you do submit an application, you're automatically charged a $50 application fee. And so that application comes to me and Dr. Schultz. We review it, and then if accepted, so as long as you meet the guidelines and you have done the application, then and when you're accepted, then you can either decline your acceptance or confirm your acceptance. And if you confirm, you'll be charged $400 in spring of 2022 as your down payment. And then the final payment actually isn't due until the summer term. So that would be summer 2022 when we're traveling. So it might not even hit your account until like when we're gone. So just so you know. Financial aid is available through the study abroad offices. So Megan, you would contact the UMD office, and Lily, you would contact the Twin Cities office, and Genevieve, I think you might contact the Twin Cities office as well, but it may also be if Rochester. I don't know that. I'm not sure about Rochester. So that is a question I need to find out. And all of those, the confirmation fee goes towards your final costs. So that's a great question. So the $400 is applied. So it's not just a fee. It doesn't come to me, I promise. Let's see. Okay, so if you haven't already, you can apply online. Just that website there. It does require a transcript, just an unofficial transcript, which you can download through the U of M system, and a short essay. Within 10 days, you receive a notice of status of your acceptance, and we'd ask that you confirm as soon as possible, mostly so that we can, when we start getting more and more applications, we have to kind of slow down a little bit because we can only accept so many people for the trip. And if you have questions for the study abroad office, you can always email the study abroad link or drop in for a virtual appointment or virtual drop-in advising. And that's all on the study abroad page for UMD. So if you're thinking about this, they can give you a lot of information. Okay, so do you have any type of estimate range for the price for the trip based on previous years? Yes, like $6,500. And it includes your lodging, the breakfast. It's a 3-credit course, so all of that's included. So for the trip, our first estimate, the one that will likely be posted for the price, is based on about 15 people. Last year, or 2020, when we were supposed to travel, we had either 29 or 30. I don't think we would go, I think we had 30 actually. I don't think we would go above 30. It becomes kind of too many people to herd 30 people through different places. So right now, I want to say we've had 10 people submit applications. I say that not 100% sure, but we're definitely in the double digits. And we're 11 months out from the deadline for application. So it's been more popular than we thought. Well, it was popular last time too, I suppose, but people are still interested in it. And so, but the more people we have, so when we have 20 or 25 or 30 people, the price does go down. So we can bring the price down. We do, once we hit kind of our capacity, we have a wait list. So last year we did have a wait list, and we understand people sometimes have changes in their life status, or health status, or family members' health status, and so sometimes things change last minute. So we did last time have a wait list initially. And it is first come, first serve in terms of, we review your application and accept you, but your spot isn't guaranteed. Even if we've accepted you, your spot isn't guaranteed until you are confirmed on the trip. So once you've submitted the paperwork of confirmation. And then let's see. I think it might have been the last slide. Oh, okay. Before I can post this, I'll stop my screen sharing and I will post the link, maybe if I can find it, into the chat. So before you go, I want you to ask as many questions as you want, but I also want you guys to be able to fill out this form so that if you attend 2 of them, you get entered into a drawing. So what other questions do you have for me? Because I am happy to answer anything. Amanda, I see you just joined us, and I'd be happy to stay after and chat a little bit more if you had questions. Kind of just did an overview of this. I am always available by email. It's msaffner, so just my first letter and my last name at umn.edu. So no D, no R, just the umn.edu straight. And then let's see what else. I am in the UMD med school primarily as my office when it's not COVID. And so I can also meet, in person in Duluth really easily. And in the Twin Cities, I'm down there, intermittently. So I can meet based on, we can figure out a time and date. So yeah, you're welcome. We have another event on, I don't know, Thursday or Friday. I don't even know which day it is, later this week too. Just another 30-minute session. Do you guys have any other questions?
One quick question.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you can go first, Lily.
I was just going to ask if there was going to be more new information on the next session, like what the next session would cover.
No. The next session will be very similar. It'll be the same slides and the same information. It's just hoping that we can capture people who have different
Yeah,
schedules.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, my first question was, what is the specific date for the the last day to sign up for this? And then my second question was in the chat, could you explain how other friends outside the university system are allowed to go to a little bit more? Sorry, I kind of missed that.
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed that question. I apologize. So your first question was, tell me again, old age.
Sorry, it was like, what is the last day to sign up for this?
Oh, I think everything closes on March 1st, 2022. It's on the web page. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But as I said, it is first come, first serve. So, if you definitely want to attend, then I encourage you to put in your application and as soon as possible. In terms of friends, if you go to the site, I know this for sure, and it says on the apply now. So if you went to like the UMN Women's Health page, if you scroll down, there's like U of M students link. So anyone who has a U of M account, whether it's Rochester, Twin Cities, or Duluth, uses that. And then if you are a non-U of M student, there's a specific link. So you essentially have to create a U of M account. And then once they create it for you, you can sign up for it there. So I know in 2020, we were supposed to have a few students from the College of St. Scholastica join us. And so they're also welcome to join us, because I know a lot of times people at UMD have close relationships with like the Scholastica folks. Yeah. Did I answer that? Did I get everything? Okay. Any other questions? So
One other question.
Oh, there was just a question
sorry.
in the chat, and then the study abroad is 15 days total. So we leave on a Sunday, arrive on a Monday, and then we would come back 2 Mondays later. Was that going to be, were you going to read the chat question, Megan?
I was not. I was wondering, oh my gosh, I totally just lost my train of thought. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, you're young, so that shouldn't happen.
Oh, I remember now. Okay, so most study abroad things, it's like the class only happens like for the 15 days that we're there, right? Like it starts when we get there and ends when we're done.
Oh, that's a really great question. So the week prior to leaving, we would do some Zoom just touch-ins to make sure that everyone's on board for travel and go over like safety, make sure we're ready for the country, like everyone will give like a short presentation on a certain topic about the country just to kind of get us prepped and ready. But it's not like full days. It's, I think we tell people it's like 1 to 2 hours for the 5 days before we leave. Once we're in country, yeah, that's the class. You do have assignments because it's a 3-credit course and we have to be able to grade you. So the assignments include things like keeping a daily journal, so writing about your experiences, and then at the end, doing a reflection where you write like what you learned, and then also doing a photo diary kind of thing where you take all the pictures you've taken, not all of them, and you can work in teams for that and just put together like, this is what we saw and this is what I learned. And so the assignments are meant to be things that you can kind of do as you go. So, maybe you'd want to build your photo thing when you got back, but yeah, it's pretty much wrapped up in the time that you're there. And for no matter which campus you're on, it does count as your Global Perspectives LibEd requirement. Any other questions or? No? I think I've seen some of your names before, so maybe 1 or 2 of you have applied already, or, okay, Genevieve's nodding her head, so I have seen your name before, okay. So I just encourage you to, if you have applied or started the application process, to complete all your paperwork so that it can be reviewed. If you've been accepted, then I encourage you to confirm if your plan is to attend. And then if you're thinking about it, I really encourage you to apply sooner rather than later. So airfare should be included this year. So in the past, what we had allowed students to plan was different itineraries, so they could find whatever the cheapest. But because of how COVID has changed travel, we're not able to offer that same flexibility at this point. So we've asked the company to include airfare in the price of it. So I guess more to come on that. Last year, it did not include airfare. That was separate. So it may be separate from the program fee. So it might be $6,500 plus. But we will certainly work with a travel agent and try to get the best deal possible. So again, it's best to contact the UMD study abroad or to look on the actual page, because it's still a work in progress, as we, you know, try our best to work. Nobody knows what a year from now will look like, but we're all very hopeful that it will look very different for travel. But we also want to make sure that people are safe. And also, we've learned a lot about canceling plane tickets and the hassle that comes with it. So we want to make sure that you're protected in case there is a cancellation, so that you're not just out, $1,000, $2,000. So yeah, anything else question wise? I will stop the recording. Stop.